Hi, and welcome to Talkin With Felicia. Today we have a very special guest. We have Miss Annie McFunny McKnight, comedian extraordinaire. So let's give it up for Miss Annie McKnight.
What's up, people?
Thank you so much for coming to my show, Annie. I just want to let you know that I think your stand-up work is just fabulous. You are so funny.
Oh,
I feel like I've seen you in so many different shows, and you are so funny. But what I really want to know is, how long have you been performing?
Oh my God. Oh, I guess I'll probably say what, all my life. I really started performing when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I was on stage. My kindergarten class was held on the stage, and my mom would always put us in plays, Easter programs, the whole shebang. You know, Southern. It's a solid Southern thing from Georgia.
So what do you consider yourself? Are you a comedian, or are you an actor, or are you a little bit of both? What are you?
I'm an actress first, and I turned comic because of where I was living at, my living conditions.
So your living conditions was so funny you became a comedian?
No, it just I was living, like I said, I'm from Georgia, I'm from the South, and I was aspiring to be a actress when I was a young lady, you know, coming up, but there weren't a lot of roles for me.
I know.
There weren't a lot of roles, so therefore, what I did when I ran for Miss Black Columbia in the South, Columbia, South Carolina,
wow.
I created this character for the talent portion that I had to do, and out of that character spun stand-up.
Wow. So when you do your stand-up, does Hollywood label you, or is you're a comedian, you're an actor? Do they label you? Do they put you in a box, or do they not know what to do with you?
Hollywood so far hasn't put me in a box. I'm glad about that. I don't think Hollywood could keep up with me because I'm kind of like all over the place. I do stand-up, I act, you know. I also sing and dance sometimes, you know. Haven't tried stripping, but, you know.
I think we have a poll out there.
Okay. But, you know, so far I haven't been placed in that box, not far as either or. But I would say far as my acting is concerned, I think I play more towards the heavy. More the tough girl, you know what I'm saying, you know, sometimes the blue-collar workers, things of that nature.
Yeah. Do you write your own jokes?
Yes, I do.
Where do you get your inspiration to write your own jokes?
God, he be dropping them down in my brain. I'm like, God, you know I need another joke. That was about 10 or 12 years old. Hook our sister up. Okay. And then he'll drop me a little something.
So between stand-up and an acting role, you prefer stand-up? Or you prefer acting?
You know, that's a good one, Felisha. We're gonna give her an A for that. That's a good one.
Thank you.
I guess I would say I prefer stand-up. Stand-up allows me to be free. And whereas with
be more yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I can do different characters right there in a 30-minute set. You know, I can have about 10 or 12 characters. You know, I can let all my schizophrenia out. So.
So let me ask you this. When, and all of that schizophrenia that's in your mind, when someone says, you know, I'm going to be, like you said, you decided to become a comedian because it came out of your talent portion.
Right.
But how do you know that you're funny? Do you go by the fact that your family and friends say, girl, you are funny, you need to go for it? Or do you actually think you're funny?
That was one of the things that helped. I touched stage doing stand-up when I was 12 years old. It was the first time I did a stand-up routine. And it was for the playground talent show. We were just playing around, you know, in the projects, nothing to do on the summertime, and we had a talent show. And I went up, and something just made me want to tell jokes. People always thought I was funny. I always made people laugh all my life.
So what did you used to do? Let me see. What did you used to make people laugh?
Oh, gosh. It just would be me, to be honest with you. Because sometimes people start laughing. I'm like, that wasn't even a joke. I'm trying to be serious. But I don't know. I've always either been the scapegoat or either one of those people that people don't take seriously. And then when they, you know, they do, it's at the wrong time. So I've always kind of like had that funny humor side of me. And so when I went out and did that time, you know, 12 years old, I didn't think that it would go to what it did now. And because I left it alone for a long time. That was just something I did, you know, to be comical and funny. And from there, I just kept, you know, being me and acted a little bit. And then when I got, like I said, older and knew that I really wanted to pursue acting, I saw how hard it was for a black female in the South. You know, it was either Color Purple, not Color, what was that? for the women that considered suicide.
When the rainbow was enough,
Yes.
when the women considered suicide. I
the
love that
rainbow
by
was
Natasha Shinsky, something
Yes.
like that. I love that. You know, I had Lady Red, Blue, White, Yellow. I had it down,
Okay,
girl.
that's it. That's it. That's all I can play. You know.
He dropped my babies. He dropped them. Remember that scene?
Okay.
Everybody wanted that scene.
That was it. Showboat. Those were the
That
plays.
was it.
Pearly Victorious. Those were the plays that I had opportunity to perform in, and
we don't
they
really
kept
have
in that
that many.
same, you know, jargon, that same
I know, it
character
keeps you.
role.
So, in a sense, it keeps you in a box back then because you're only limited to a certain amount of projects.
Exactly.
But this is what I want to know. Why do comedians feel they need to use foul language? Because some are funny. You know, Bill Cosby never said a curse word. I'm sure he probably did in his early years, but
Right.
we only know, you know, I may be too young for that one, but we only know everything about a curse word. You know, I want to know, what makes a good comedian? Someone who uses foul language or someone who doesn't? And why, this is a two-parter,
Okay, now she
and
really
why
got it going on.
do comedians always make fun of someone's misery? You know, all these celebrities that get arrested, that go to jail, that, you know, dating this one and dating that one. Why do you make such a big joke out of that? And especially some things that are really, really bad and it's heart-wrenching.
Okay.
Why do you make a joke out of it? Why not you, but you're
Trying to find a pencil so I can write all this down.
Okay, I'm done right now. I'm just talking about comedians in a whole. You make fun of everybody's miseries.
Well,
you know, and you curse a lot. I'm thinking, you know, not you,
That's
but
a comic. You know, I curse too sometimes in my comedy.
I know, I've heard you, and you're funny.
I'm across the board person. You know, hey, sister got to
Equal
work.
opportunity.
That's why I don't mean no harm, you know, but it's the truth. I think.
But I've seen you do work without one curse word coming out
Oh,
your
yeah.
mouth, and you were fabulous.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So some people lead with that, is what I'm talking about. If you lead with that, if that's the only thing that can come out your mouth, that's what I'm referring to.
I think it's in the person's heart, you know, and it's also believe is in their talent. Like with me, I'm just versatile like that, you know, and I, you know, my heart is good. You know, I wasn't cursing until I came to California. Believe it or not. I mean, because, you know, the college I went through to was a Methodist college, you know, and they didn't allow all that, you know, Columbia College, South Carolina, woo-woo, C-Square girls, where you at? You know. So, you know, we didn't allow that. And all the follies, all the performances, I performed in them. I started doing my stand-up. I cultivated my stand-up there. You know, did a lot of local TV shows and what have you, plays. And, you know, mine started there. So I was kind of bred clean. I think it comes in your breeding. And I think if you start out, you know, on the stage and you just MF this and all that, then I think it breeds and it becomes a
part of you.
A blanket. It becomes a blanket, and you think, well,
or a crutch.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You know, the security blanket, the crutch, whatever you want to call it, and you're not able to come away from that because of fear and because, quote unquote, people know you for that. But there again, it comes to being able to do like I'm able to do.
But does that pay the bills?
Oh, which ones? Talking about the cursing
the
or
fouling, having foul mouth. Does that pay your bills if you do more of that?
Richard Pryor left some money behind. Hey, Andrew Dice Clay, he big as a house now, so that brother believes from somewhere, okay? Lenny Bruce is dead and gone, but hey, you know, it made the money, you know.
But what about the miseries? What about people's
The
miseries?
miseries are part of it, because it's like the Count Jester. You know, the misery is part of it. When the king was sad, you know, somebody come in there and make the king happy. Somebody had to touch on the misery. I touch on misery a lot in my comedy, in certain things that I'm talking about. Like when you hear me talking political, when I talk about the war and things of that nature, you know, I think that's part of it because that's truth. Truth is what's comedy. You know, that's what I feel.
Now, I believe you. I believe truth is in comedy because I've heard some real good comedians, and I like when they use current events. The only thing I'm referring to is that when you use current events that hurts another person, like if it's a celebrity or whatever, they make a joke out of something that happened. I heard years ago when I was a kid, there was a joke, what kind of wood can't float?
I don't know what kind of wood can't float.
Natalie Wood. And I thought that joke was done in such poor taste. Natalie Wood did West Side Story. You know, she played Maria. West Side Story is a wonderful play. But when I heard that joke, I was thinking, that wasn't very funny. You know, I don't think that was very funny.
I don't either because I couldn't even connect
but
to Natalie.
You know, I couldn't. But if you had known her, you could connect. I tell you what, why don't we roll tape of your work? So we all can get a good laugh on your work.
That's Natalie Cole. Oh, you're talking about the sister.
No, I'm not talking about her. We're going to go to tape now and see a little bit of why you keep us laughing.
And I tell y'all, part of this too was Hillary's fault. That's right, Hillary knew what kind of man she had. All right, every woman in here know how your man is. That's right, ain't that right, baby? That's right. If your man is like that, you have to do a slut check. You just don't let everybody in your house. And another thing, it's too many rooms in the White House. That's why I live in a one-room room. I ain't lying. Me and my man, he get up going to the bathroom. Where you going? Where you going? I'm just going to the bathroom. Hey, crack that door.
Oh my God, you were so funny. I like that piece. I like that
that's
piece.
Right, political. And that's a little heartbreaking, you know, because Hillary probably didn't like what she had to go through after that incident.
You know, but
So,
she's still with him, so hey.
Hey, he pays the bills.
You know, that's another
she's still with it. Come on now, keep it real. Keep it real. Come on.
That's another show. So let me ask you this. As far as money concerned, do men comedians get paid more than women comedians?
I think it goes by popularity. More so than it does, you know, gender, female, male. You know, I think that males have more of an opportunity to go through the doors faster. I think that they will grab a male, whether he black or white, depends on what he says on stage, how he arouses the audience. I think they will go a lot faster, opposed to a female can come in and do absolutely the same thing, and they may, you know, they want to pick her apart.
You know, I was going to say that I think that some comedians, more so than actors, has longer staying power.
Oh, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. It depends still, but because as an actor, you can grow old on the stage, you know, and become whoever. I mean, we've seen Denzel is doing it. I mean, we've seen so many, you know, who've done it and, you know, have gone beyond us. Lucille Ball, you think about a lot of those ladies that started late, you know, they started very, very late in life, you know.
But she's extraordinary. Lucille Ball, she's like one of my favorite all times. My favorite of all times. So tell me something. If I want you to look out my audience and tell my audience, for anybody who wants to be an up and coming comedian, stand-up comic, what do they do? Where do they go?
Get on the stage. Start writing stuff down, things that you think are funny. And most of all, it comes with material. You got to have material. Write it down. You think it's funny. Your parents are laughing at it. Some of your friends. Write it down. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. You know, I'll always say that. You know, I started out clean. You know, only. Well. Oh, anyway, keep it clean. Keep it clean. I have a clean comic too. But keep it clean. I would say that. Write it down and practice it. Stand in front of a mirror. You know, one of my good friends, Anthony Brown, was my mentor. You know, Bitter Man. Y'all know Bitter Man.
Yeah,
you know, and
Bitter Man.
he would. Like when he would come to town, I had the opportunity to meet him. He bought me this mic stand. He made like a imitation mic out of a piece of metal and just wrapped tape around it. And he would get the thing, he put it down. He said, Annie, just practice.
I know, that's how you have to do it.
Just practice.
Why
So that's what I would advise you.
Why do you think that the list of comedians is a short list when it comes to African American women?
It goes back to the same old thing, you know, the Imus syndrome. What can we say? What can we do?
I don't know. I mean, Whoopi's out there, and she's extraordinary. Monique, yourself. But our list seems to be so short. You know, I'll see a comedian. I'll watch the new season. I'm sure the new season have all of these comedies all these comedians you never heard of, and they all get their own shows because someone went to a comedy show and saw them. But I don't see enough of African Americans. Even when it comes to African American male comedies, you see them. but where are the women at?
Well, again, it goes back to who you know. You know, really, that's Hollywood, man. I mean, like, you know, I'm a couple of miles from Hollywood right now, but that's Hollywood. You have to make the connection. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I didn't make the connection. You have to beat the pavement. It's hard work out there.
Do you think they're closing the door to us women and open it up to the men?
Oh, I won't say they're just actually closing the door.
But they're not leaving it open either.
Yeah. I say if you're a female and you want to get in, you got to knock it down. You really have to knock it down.
Coming in with a machete, knock that door down.
You have to penetrate. You have to penetrate it. Again, you know, this is a man's world, whether we like it or not.
I know.
You know,
we're just living in their world.
Man's world. You know, You know, so we can't do nothing about that. You know how, you know, so what we have to do as females, what I've learned how to do, I think somewhat like a man sometimes.
You have to.
You know, I have to, do the things that I see that the men do. You know, I have to be strong, I have to be courageous, and I have to push. You know, a man, if you think about it, men don't sit back often. And even if they are sitting back, it's still an aura about them, whereas they're sending out a message. The quietness, there's a storm.
Exactly. It's funny you say that because we all know who Jamie Foxx is.
Right.
And the story is he changed his name to Jamie because when his real name wasn't a unisex name, so you knew he was a man. So nobody wanted to go up behind him or in front of him, so he changed to Jamie because they always thought it was a girl, thinking, oh, the girl wasn't very funny, you know. And then he had to change his name, so it makes you think, well, what's going on? But this is the one thing I think that really bothers me. I think it bothers everybody out here. Why is it most comedians we see a lot of heavy men comedians, and we don't see a lot of heavy women. And that's a poor choice of words. Why don't we say we see heavy men and voluptuous women?
Okay.
You know, we don't see a lot of them, but everywhere you turn around, all these comedians are heavy men, and no one makes fun of their weight. But God forbid you're not waist thin. Everybody's having something to say, and then when you're too thin, something wrong with you.
Well, it's just a fat syndrome on that one, you know what I mean?
But I don't think that affects comedians like it does a regular actress.
You can't worry about the fat. I mean, Monique's heavy. Monique got her big behind out there, you know. You think of Ross that just made on Last Comic Stand, and she's a heavy-set girl. What you might want to think about is why majority of the black female comics that they do allow in are heavy, opposed to saying that they don't allow the black females in. I would
so
say
why is that?
I don't know. I think it goes back to the Aunt Jemima syndrome. You
They
know,
think we're funny because we're heavy.
Well, I think that. I think also they feel comfortable. I think
they're not threatened.
And I don't want to use the word they because I'm not a biased person. You know, I come from the South, so I've dealt with white people all my life, black people all my life. I come out here, I get in the melting pot of the Centeritas, you know, donde está? You know, where you at? You know, so I perform for all of those people. You know, so I really can't say. I really do. I perform for old white people, if you want to say that. The older Caucasian is a better choice of words. I perform for older black people, African American for better choice of words. You know, the Latinos. If you don't want to say Mexican.
We
you
need
know,
to be
even
PC.
the Asian people, all of them, they know me.
We have to be politically correct.
You know, so what I found is funny is funny. Because I'm not a heavy-set woman.
No,
you know, I'm not a slimly slim either, but I'm not, you know, voluptuous. You know, camera give me 10 extra pounds, but you know, it did. What y'all laughing at? It did give me 10 extra pounds. Y'all had enough of this.
No, don't go anywhere. No, don't go anywhere. So let me tell everybody, what are you? You know, first, I want to say, what is your ultimate goal? You know, because I know most comedians, but I know you consider yourself both. Is your ultimate goal hosting the Oscars? You know, because for an actor, the ultimate goal as an actor is like, they want the Oscar, they want the Emmy, you know, they want the, you know, everything. But for you, you know, for a comedian, is that the cherry on the cake, or is it a late night talk show?
That's a cherry in the cake. I like a little apple in the pie. I ain't too partial to cherries. But you know, my thing. I would like to have my own TV show. And
a talk show style or a regular comedy
talk
drama?
show, I wouldn't mind that. Maybe come later on the talk show. You know, I would like to have my own TV show
for
first.
5 years, residuals.
Hey, I'll take it. You know?
I'll give you my headshot afterwards.
My own TV show. If I had my own TV show, you know what I'm saying, it was very successful. You know, if I had a I Love Lucy run, that would be marvelous. That would be marvelous, you know, but I can't sit around and hope and look at what's out there. I got to think about what Annie McKnight's going to create.
What she's going to create right now. But what have you been creating? What are any projects you've been in? What's up next? Let everybody know. Because you've done everything, so tell everybody. I read your bio. As long as it is, I'm going to leave you to tell me what it's all about.
Well, airing now is Martin Lawrence's show, First Amendment, on Stars. And I also have what's coming out this fall. I'm in iCarly.
Okay.
Nickelodeon.
That's Nickelodeon, I remember, from your bio.
Children show. And I also just finished working on a pilot with Parker Posey. And that was great. That was great. Worked with the Palladinos, Amy Sherman Palladino and her husband. They're the creators of the Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
So that was great. That was great. And so those are the two things that I got coming out this.
So if that was a pilot, we'll know in a couple of weeks if your pilot got picked up. Is that what you're saying?
It's Parker's pilot got picked up. I wish it was mine.
Okay, we'll know in a couple of weeks.
So if it don't get picked up, don't be like, your pilot didn't get picked up. No, I want mine. It was Parker.
So, I mean, is that a recurring role, or is that a recurring role, or was that just a one-time guest star, I should say?
Reoccurring, possibly. Again, if it gets picked up.
Well, we'll know in a couple of weeks because they'll be going to New York, and I know they all go to New York and decide on the pilot. So we're gonna say a little prayer for you.
Amen.
We're gonna definitely say a little prayer for you.
Send it up.
So what else have you been doing?
Got a bunch of commercials running.
I know. I saw Southwest.
Yeah.
Great job.
Southwest made me famous, and I was in Domino's. I did Prilosec last year, so
I saw Prilosec.
Yeah, I did quite a few commercials.
But Southwest plays it constant.
I know.
So you see yourself. More people say, "Oh, I know you."
They know me. When I walk in, how you get off the plane? You saw them prices. I walked out. Flew in on me.
So tell me, if somebody, do you have a website? Let us know your website.
Oh yeah, www.anniemcknight.com. All y'all want to be my friends? Hit me up at www.myspace/AnnieMcKnight. Be my friend. I'll be yours. Hola, sí, ¿cómo está? Mishi. Oh, yeah, I can talk. I've been around the world.
I just want to let you know,
Adios.
You are welcome to come back to Talkin with Felicia anytime, because you sat here and you just cracked me up throughout this whole interview. You were just so fabulous. I want to thank Miss Annie McFunny McKnight for coming to my show. If you want any questions about the show, I go to talkinwithfelicia@aol.com. And see you next time on Talkin with Felicia. And thanks again to Miss Annie McKnight. You did a great job. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I would have you anytime because you were hilarious.
Thank you. Y'all check me out now. I'm doing things.
You definitely are. You definitely doing things.
That's good.
You smoking on my stage.
Hey, I like that.
Horseradish. Is that for horses? Remember me, Mr. Lobster? From last Tuesday? Banana. 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 Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat? That's right.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
안녕.
konnichiwa.
아이보안.
Hey,
사람.
Bonjour.
Namaste.
Привет.
Здраво. Привет.
Rancho Camulos, Ventura County's first historical landmark, was a Mexican land grant awarded in 1839. History lives on at the 13-acre museum of Rancho Camulos. Take a tour highlighting the rancho's operation under 3 generations of the Del Valles. Visit the birthplace of Ventura County's first working winery and learn about the mysterious history of Helen Hunt Jackson's Ramona. Visit ranchocamulos.org or call 805-521-1501 for information on tours, museum hours, and special events. Located off the 126 in Piru, Rancho Camulos, where hospitality calls home.